Hello, everybody. We are here to riff on a really bad plagiaristic, that's a word, right? Plagiaristic reviewer.
To be a young freshman in college with only a headset and not a professional microphone. Hello, y'all. It is I, Jinzo Fighter, and we're here to revisit the man, the myth, the legend, the plagiarist, Free Nintendo 21. You may recall 2.5 years ago, I did a video on this dude. He plagiarizes not one, but two content creators I've been following for a good bit now. Some call me Johnny and the Angry Video Game Nerd. This video, like the old one, is going to be focused on his plagiarism of Johnny, since I've been following him longer. Just recently, Free Nintendo 21, real name Thomas Hathaway, started a Mario Marathon. You know, the first few games in the Super Mario Bros. Series. This video that we're going to be covering today is his re-review of Super Mario Bros., the first one, because he did make an old review of Mario 1 from like 8 years ago that doesn't have as much plagiarism, but I will be sure to bring it up when it's relevant.
Greetings everyone, I am Thomas the Retro Nerd, reviewing the games good or bad. Since we're still here in the year of the 80s, I think it's best we take a look at a mascot that was created in the 80s, but he was also involved in my childhood as well. For those of you who don't know, I grew up as a Nintendo kid. Therefore, I grew up as a Mario fan.
There's barely any plagiarism in this opening bit, but trust me, it'll escalate pretty fast. I will be editing in bits of Johnny's review this time, just to show you how blatantly this guy is ripping him off.
Mario games that made him the video game icon we all know today. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Now, for all of you who've been stuck with me since the beginning, you already know that I reviewed the first Mario game 8 years ago. Well, I wasn't a good reviewer back then. I was just a young teenager at the time. But I can't help myself saying that I was very rusty back then. But now that I'm fully involved with reviewing video games, I think it's time for a fresh start. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mario Marathon.
Here's Johnny's Mario Marathon intro for comparison. And by the way, apologies ahead of time. Clip Converter let me download the plagiarist's videos just fine, but it was giving me shit with Johnny's, so I had to screen record these through OBS. Again, apologies, but it gets the point across.
Super Mario. What could I say that no one else did on the internet? Well, how about he is the video game mascot that saved the video game market from plummeting? His popularity branched out to serials, a cartoon show, a feature film that I consider a guilty pleasure, and even a countless amount of merchandise. Well, that can say a lot since he has the personality of a cardboard box, jumps on anything that moves, and constantly saves this blonde bimbo from this turtle dragon multiple times. To me, I just don't care as long as the games are fun to begin with, and that's what Mario games deliver.
Mario, Mario, Mario. God, he's been everywhere. From serials, cartoon shows, a feature film, to countless amounts of merchandise, Mario is without a doubt the definitive video game character. And that's saying a hell of a lot. He has the personality of a cardboard box, jumps on anything that moves, and constantly finds himself rescuing this walking definition of an airhead from this giant turtle countless amounts of times.
As a man who grew up with the Italian plumber, I'm sure to find some excitement while looking at these games. So before we look at them, let's take some time and learn a little history about Mario. That is, if you live under a rock for all these years and suffer from amnesia.
But let's just take a quick look back at how Mario came to be, if you've been living under a rock for the last 25 years. Back in 1981, a man named Shigeru Miyamoto, along with the supervision of the late Gunpei Yokoi, created an arcade game called Donkey Kong.
In this game, you control a character named Jumpman. Your goal is to climb up an unfinished construction building to save your girlfriend, simply known as the Lady, later named Pauline, from the giant ape himself, Donkey Kong, who is an inspiration from King Kong. During the American localization, Mr. Miyamoto decided to name Jumpman Mario, named after his American office landlord at the time, Mario Segal. I think that's pronounced.
In it, you control the character named Jumpman and needed to guide him to the top of the obstacle course in order to rescue his girlfriend Pauline from the giant monkey himself, Donkey Kong. During the American localization process, Mr. Miyamoto decided to name Jumpman Mario after his office landlord at the time, Mario Sega, is it Segali or is it Segali? Or is it Segali? Whatever. You can't spell it without. Oh shit.
Well, these days, this game is nothing new, but back then, this was the shit. It sold incredibly well on every single console that it was ported on. Awesome!
Anyway, the game was incredibly simple in design, but back then, this was considered the shit. It sold incredibly well, and just about every console at the time had a port of the game.
With Donkey Kong's success, Mr. Miyamoto decided to experiment other games with Mario. While Donkey Kong will go on to star in other games, with one of them Mario's portrayed as the villain, Mario would star in the 1983 arcade game Mario Brothers.
With Donkey Kong's success, Mr. Miyamoto wanted to experiment more with Mario himself. While Donkey Kong will go on to star in other games, one in which Mario himself is a villain, Mario will go to star in the 1983 game Mario Brothers. It's here that we find out that Mario is an Italian-American plumber from New York and he has a brother named Luigi.
In this game, we learned that Mario is an Italian plumber from Brooklyn and he has a brother named Luigi. This might be the first and only game to show Mario's plumbing skills. That might be me.
And let's just say that this is probably the closest we'll ever see Mario doing anything remotely plumbing related. Unless there's some other Mario plumbing game I'm unaware of.
The game was a success, but nothing to write home about. It wasn't until 1985 when Mr. Miyamoto, along with the service of Takashi Tezuka, helped create Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo Family Computer, or the Nintendo Entertainment System for everyone else.
The game was a modest success, but nothing amazing. It wasn't until 1985 when Mr. Miyamoto created Super Mario Bros. For the Famicom Disk System, or the Nintendo Entertainment System for everyone else.
This right here kind of shocked me because
This
I'm
is
actually
one of my
watching
favorite
this as
games
I'm
for the
editing
console.
it, and
Besides
he
that,
does
this
something
game
that
is a
Johnny
must-have
didn't
for the
do, and
NES,
he's
while the
gonna
Famicom
review the
was
ports
out
as
in the
well.
market in
So
Japan for 2
points,
years.
I guess.
I say perfect timing. I would like to take some time to review the Game Boy Color version, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, since for this series, those versions are the ones I grew up with. Except for this one. According to the story, Mario and Luigi have been transported to the magical land of the Mushroom Kingdom, where a giant turtle named Bowser, or King Koopa in Japan, has captured Princess Toadstool, or Princess Peach.
Gone is the plumbing, instead we get a 2D side-scroller that places Mario in the fictitious Mushroom Kingdom, where a giant turtle named Bowser, or King Koopa in Japan, has kidnapped Princess Toadstool, or Princess Peach.
Not only that, Bowser has turned the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom into bricks and stones with his powerful black magic. Well, that black magic thing was said in the manual, and whoa! Does that mean that Mario is committing murder every time he breaks a block?
Not only that, but he's also transformed all the kingdom's inhabitants into blocks and whatnot using his powerful black magic. Well, that black magic part is what the manual said. Whoa. Wouldn't that mean Mario is committing murder every time he breaks a block?
You heard that. He ripped the final fucking scream effect verbatim from the original video. And he plagiarized this in the first review too.
Yeah, that's what the game descriptions do. What?
Does that mean Mario commits murder in video games? Nah, I'm just joshing you. He never does that. Alright, back to the game.
How much of a fucking uncreative hack do you have to be to rip someone off like that twice?
There's also mention that before Bowser kidnapped Peach, he also killed his father, the Mushroom King.
His
Again, only in
father?
the manual,
Peach is
and later
female,
gets
you
retconned both
idiot.
the black magic and the king. Though Super Mario Bros. Is a simple game to play. You just have to guide Mario through all 32 levels, stop Bowser, and save the kingdom. Looking at the controller, this is very simple to understand. The D-pad allows Mario to move left and right. Pressing down as Super Mario allows you to duck or go down through warp pipes. Pressing A allows Mario to jump in high places, which is important for this game. Lastly, pressing and holding B causes Mario to run, which is also important to progress through the game. I cannot stress this enough. I had a couple of friends over when they played this game and they act like the B button doesn't exist. Is it really hard to press both buttons with one thumb? I have no problem myself.
The B button allows Mario to run faster when you're moving him with the D-pad, and it also allows him to build more momentum for longer jumps, which again is very important if you plan on beating the game. I cannot stress that enough. When I was a kid, just about every single adult I've seen play the game seemed to act like the B button didn't exist, and it tore me up inside seeing someone play the game so slowly. Come on guys, was it so hard to hold down the B button while moving?
Throughout the game, you'll come across a bunch of coins scattered around. Not only do they serve as points for your meaningless score, collecting 100 of them will grant you an extra life.
Anyway, throughout your travels you can collect coins, which besides adding points to your meaningless score, can also net you an extra life if you collect 100 of them.
Also scattered throughout the levels are question blocks. By jumping under them, you'll release what's inside. Mostly it's coins, but you also get a surprise that awaits you. While traveling through these levels, you'll quickly find out that Mario is a glass cannon when he's small. Just one hit, and you're dead. But luckily there are some power-ups that can help you out throughout your journey. When a mushroom pops up, you transform into Super Mario, allowing you to take an extra hit from an oncoming enemy. I consider this as a bit of a life meter. As Super Mario, you can collect the Fire Flower. Rapidly pressing B causes you to spew fireballs at enemies that comes in your way. Well, almost anything.
You can spit fireballs and absolutely nuke just about anything in your path. Well, almost anything.
At this point, I'm not pointing out every single similarity because 90% of this guy's script is just Johnny's but slightly altered. I will include the bits that stand out though. Also, let's unpack that grammar for a second, shall we? Throwing fireballs at enemies that come your way? Well, almost anything? Dude, you couldn't even fucking check the grammar on your plagiarism. Fucking ridiculous.
Sometimes you'll go down warp pipes to hidden bonus rooms to gain extra coins. There is also the rare vine that by climbing up will take you to the sky area to collect even more coins. Coins, coins, coins. It's a coin collecting fiasco.
Coins, coins, coins.
Sticking out of some pipes are piranha plants. If you stand next to the pipe or on top of it, they won't come out. Sounds like a stupid weakness if you ask me.
Sticking out of some pipes are piranha plants, but if you stand next to the pipe they're in, or stand on top of it, they don't come out at all. Huh, it's kind of a stupid weakness if you ask me.
I had to lower the audio on this one because this guy knows nothing about audio equalization.
In the underwater stages, you will face off the squids called bloopers and along with a fish called cheep cheeps. If you don't have the fire flower, you're fucked. Oh yeah, you can use fire underwater. I mean, come on, this gives a middle finger to science. As we all know, it's magic. We don't have to explain it.
Underwater, you can come across cheep cheeps and bloopers, who are impossible to kill without the fire flower. Oh yeah, you can use fire underwater. What? In a world where Fat Man can jump high, mushrooms make you big, and turtles have a vendetta against you, did you honestly think this game will be at least scientifically accurate?
Now, not all of the Hammer Brothers are bad, but this fucker right here always gives me the grief. Near the end of the final level and near this lava pit, we get the most frustrating enemy placement in video game history. Why is this Hammer Brother here? Do you know how hard it is to correctly jump on him without dying? Shit. Okay. Damn it! Oh, what the flying fuck?
Now, they don't give me trouble all the time, but this fucker right here always gives me shit. Near the end of the final castle and right before this lava pit, we probably have one of the worst offenders of horrible enemy placement ever in video game history. Yes, even worse than fucking slicers.
Why is this Hammer Brother here?
Do you know how hard it is to successfully kill a Hammer Brother by jumping on it? Come on. Come on, shit! Alright, damn it! Oh, what the flying fuck?
Showing that you didn't defeat Bowser at all, just a miserable clone.
Which reveals that you weren't really fighting Bowser, just a miserable clone.
You also get a level select. That's cool.
You also get a level select. That's nice.
Or other times when shit like this happens. That's annoying.
Finally, there's shit like this. And that's annoying.
That or you could use the one-up trick. Oh, I love this so much.
That or you can just use the one-up trick. Man, I love doing that.
Well, folks, this is only the beginning of the Mario Marathon, and we got plenty of other games to go through. So stay tuned next time where we take a look at Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES, and I'm talking about the one that we got here in America, and... oh, great. I guess I'm gonna have to review that one, don't I?
So with that said, next time we meet, we're going to go straight into Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES. And by that, I mean Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, and not... I know, I really guess I should do that game, shouldn't I?
So by now you probably get my point. Free Nintendo21 is and has been a plagiaristic hack for many years. I will be probably making a video in the future showcasing how he also steals from the AVGN, but we'll just have to wait and see, though I do like how this one came out. I'll be starting work on the Red Dead Redemption review soon, and free Nintendo21, if you're watching this, just be original. It's not that hard. Don't lift lines verbatim from people and cause drama. Catch y'all later.